Hey guys, so I finally got my hands on Protea, and I knew she was strong, but I didn't know she was this strong. So yeah, you almost don't even need weapons on her. So let's talk about that. Oops. Okay. So this warframe is a little silly because she kind of does everything. She's got crowd control, she's got infinite shields, she's got infinite energy, she's got armor strip, she's got just a shit ton of DPS in general. She's got an ability that stops her from dying. So here's how I've been building her. I have two different builds on her. They're very similar. The only difference is the Helminth ability. So we kind of just want to focus on duration and strength and then a little bit of range. Molt efficiency, molt augmented. And then the things that really make her strong are these three mods here. She doesn't really need the health from this, but the double heat procs on her guns from Archon Vitality is super nice. Then temporal erosion makes it so your grenades strip armor as long as your temporal anchor's going. And then temporal artillery just makes it so your guns follow you as long as your temporal anchor's going. I know a lot of people don't like her temporal anchor. I didn't at first either until I realized you could cancel the rewind. Now all you got to do is pay a little bit of attention to the timer, cancel the rewind at the very last second, and then recast your abilities. And then if you die with it on, you also get saved. You just got to pay attention to it a little bit. The only ability I didn't really like on her was Dispensary. And while it gives you energy and health, I don't like that it's stationary and you always had to go back to it. And I found myself like I was spending 75 or 100 energy just to get that energy back and then leaving it there. It wasn't worth it to me. So I have two different options to like fix that. Nourish is one of them. Of course, it helps with energy and then gives you the extra viral damage on your weapons, and that's really good. But I found one build that made the energy a little bit more consistent was actually putting on Lycan's Hunt. And I didn't even finish putting the mods back on. But Lycan's Hunt makes it so health orbs drop whenever you get a melee kill, or energy orbs drop every time you get a headshot kill. This was super consistent as long as you're meleeing enemies, but I don't really feel like losing out on the viral damage is worth swapping it out, so I am going to stick with Nourish for now. And then two other things I want to go over with is Secondary Fortifier actually works with her guns as long as you apply the heat procs with her pistol first, and then you generate overguard. It's kind of niche, and I didn't really feel like it was worth it, but it's there as an option. And then so Archon shards. These are all kind of just quality of life things I added to her. So extra max energy, a little bit of energy on spawn so I can start my combo off right. And then the purple one that's just like a little mini equilibrium. And then the Topaz Archon shard actually gives your secondary crit chance when you kill stuff with heat. So it's just free crit chance on your secondary with her guns. And then I've been running the electricity Archon shard on primary weapons for a lot of reasons. I'm still using my Cinta. You can use whatever weapons, really. I was messing around with the Daiku Prime. I was going to make a whole video on this, but it wasn't worth it, in my opinion. I would rather just use the Cinta. The AoE stronger. The single target damage is almost identical. And then the Kodomotivore. This weapon's actually really fun. I'm probably going to make a full video on this at some point as well. But let's get into a real mission and see how it goes. Alright guys, here we are, back in that same mission that I'm always testing stuff on. And honestly, I think Protea is my new favorite warframe. My problem with a lot of warframes is I usually feel like I'm either casting my abilities only and using those to kill everything, or I'm just buffing my guns and then not using my abilities at all, and that just wasn't very fun for me. Protea is very active, and you get to do both. Even my Saren, which has been my favorite frame for a long time, was starting to feel like I was just using her to buff my weapons, and that was it. But I didn't really enjoy that, so I think I'm going to be playing Protea for a while from now on. Also, something I forgot to mention. You can generate infinite shields with her if you just hold down her one, and it's a little silly. And then, like, I think Protea's theme is also just really cool. I like the time theme, but like, this isn't always super useful, to be fair. But using it to make it so your grenade strip armor and your guns follow you is so worth it. I know a lot of people Helminth her 4 off, but I don't think you should. It's very strong. And then the one thing I am going to miss about my Saren is her spores spreading to everything. And I like to use her spores kind of as like a mini radar and use them to find enemies. But that's okay. Protea does way more damage and she strips armor way faster when you use your grenades. So there's that. And then with Nourish, you do have to be a little careful, because if you do run out of energy and you don't have the ability to cast anything, you kind of get screwed. I'm probably going to be running Zenrook on her, just for those moments where I literally have no energy, because it happens sometimes. But most of the time, you're going to have infinite energy, as long as there's enemies to kill. There's been times where I've gotten downed, and then like my energy gets drained right after, and then, but that doesn't happen very often. But yeah, as long as you pay attention to her timers and cancel her ults before you get forced rewound, it's really not that bad. And I like that there's a little bit of something extra you got to pay attention to. But as you can see, I'm very squishy, but nothing is even able to touch me because everything's either dying or getting crowd controlled so fast that it doesn't matter. And like, I can't wait to show you what she does to the Acolyte, because she just destroys it in like 2 seconds. It's crazy. And my little self-priming Cinta, where I have like 5 status effects proccing with Galvanized Aptitude, also works on Protea, which is really cool. Because now I can put Nourish on, get the viral damage. Okay, so like, I walked through a bubble just now and ran out of energy at the same time. That was kind of scary, but there was so much energy on the ground that it didn't matter. You do have to remember to replenish your shields every once in a while. Which I don't know. There they go. I was like, I don't know why they're not replenishing right now. But they weren't for a second. But, yeah. I've seen a lot of people even run her like with an unmaxed Archon Vitality, because she doesn't really need the health. You just want that heat damage passive. But I figured might as well put some points into it and get the health as well. Where is the Acolyte? Alright, we got the Acolyte spawning in now. So let's go like this. Throw this down. Instantly strip her armor. And then just destroy her. Yeah, so Protea does so much damage and is so useful. I think she's my favorite frame now. But let's get the hell out of this mission. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for this one. If you guys made it this far, I would really appreciate it. If you liked and subscribed, it really helps out the channel a lot. I finally hit 100 subscribers. It only took me 10 years and realizing that I should have been uploading Warframe videos the whole time. I've been playing this game for years, but never made any videos on it for some reason. But I do really appreciate you guys. The channel's doing well. It's growing. But I have no idea what my next video is going to be. But I'm sure it'll be within the next week or so. So I'll see you guys next time.